Peace to the tribe. It is me, Nudiamonds, here with a beautiful Kundalini rising and activations video. Um, I'm really excited to do this video. Shout out to Soul Tribe. They were asking me about ascension symptoms and just feeling this energy. We had just got influx of energy coming in from all of these solar flares. We just had another solar flare, an X9. So it's the highest record to date for this solar cycle 25. Today is October 8th, 2024 on a Gregorian calendar. And I'm just going to be deep diving into this message, into this energy. I'm going to be doing more so of a presentation. And yeah, we're going to make it fun and breaking down some of the Kundalini energies. What is a Kundalini activation? What are some things to expect? How you might feel. Again, this is just my perspective, my perception, and the effects may be different for everyone. So, yeah, let's jump right into it. So, Kundalini, what is Kundalini? Okay. Um, Kundalini basically is a rising of this life force energy that is dormant within the body, is dormant within everyone. It is a coiled up energy or a serpent that lies at the base of the root chakra, the coccyx, the bottom of the chakras, the first chakra. Okay, so it's the sense of this pent up energy that lays dormant there. And the more you excel, the more you start to ascend, the more you start to gain consciousness, the more internal work you do, the more healing work you do, this energy starts to rise. Okay. Now, this can happen in just one swipe, one big wave, or it can happen in increments. It can happen in levels. It's really a lot of different levels to the Kundalini awakening, the Kundalini rising, and ascension symptoms, DNA activation. It all depends on where you are at in your journey and what type of healing work you may be doing. So as you can see, this is the Kundalini. Is basically one thing that I thought was funny is we have all of this energy percolating in the 8 year, okay? And we know 8 is all about transformation. It's all about power. It's all about sexual energy. It's all about merging. It's all about the underworld. It's all about death, rebirth, transmutation, transformation, this infinity, this infinite power. So when I think of the 8, I think of the snake, I think of the dragon, rise of the dragon. And when the 8, that scorpionic energy is rising above, it turns into that phoenix, the rise of the phoenix, the dusting off the ashes, the rising up against those lower natures, that root chakra to ascend higher, to the crown chakra, to the infinite, to the all. Okay. So, another thing that I thought was interesting was the Kundalini is very similar to the Caduceus. I mean, and the Caduceus is a symbol that is used for medical, the medical symbol. Okay. So it's these two serpents that come together on this staff for enlightenment, as you can see here. And when I think of that, I think of the masculine, the feminine, the up, the down, the light, the dark, the in, the out, as above, so below energy, right? That is this Kundalini energy. That is this Kundalini rising. Okay. It is the merging, is the balance with the feathers here. You can see the Ma'at, okay, the Isis, the Inda, and the Pingala. Okay. And it's these two serpents that travel up and down the body, these energy centers that travel up and down your spine, and they reach up to your crown when this energy is properly transformed and transmuted and cleansed and purged for enlightenment. Okay, so Here's the Caduceus. This is the medical sign. And when I think of the Caduceus, I think of the staff. Okay, the staff of wisdom. Moses having the staff of wisdom, this enlightenment, this healing energy as well. Because, like I said, it is attributed to the medical symbol, and medical is supposed to be healing. Medicine is supposed to be healing. Okay, so it's this sense of healing the body, transmuting energy, using alchemy to balance out this light and this dark, this left and this right energy, to rise above and have that heart and that mind and that body be as light as a feather. Okay. But let me see, let me go over to the next slide. So yeah, so here's that same thing. These are all the same thing. Like I said, the brain, the spine, that dormant energy rising up the spine, going up to your crown, going up to your brain to give you this sense of enlightenment. So it's really all about enlightenment. When you reach the sense of enlightenment, there's a lot of things that come with it: DNA activations, purging, releasing, cleansing, detoxing, bliss. It's a magnitude of emotions. It's an emotional roller coaster that you go on. And I'm speaking from experience because I have had a full Kundalini awakening, and it was a very transformative experience. And I still have waves of the energy surge through my body. And I just really wanted to do this video to enlighten others who may be curious about this Kundalini DNA activation, ascension symptoms type of energy that we are all starting to really feel at this time. Okay. So let's go over to the next slide. Also, it gives me this sense of the Kundalini rising, this energy rising. It reminds me of the tree of life as well. So you see the eye here, the eye of wisdom, the third eye, that crown, the corona, the sun, the enlightenment. Okay. And it reminds me of the tree of life. Okay. So this sense of rising above this lower nature, coming out of this animalistic nature and rising above the flesh, rising above these negative desires or this temptation or trauma, or healing the trauma, healing those wounds to rise above and reach these higher levels of consciousness. Okay. And that's all within. Okay. We can all tap into this energy. It's not like no one can do the internal work. Everyone can do the internal work to reach this sense of bliss, to reach this sense of tranquil state, to reach this sense of enlightenment. Okay. You do the work, you get the reward. Okay. So yes, here's more pictures of the tree of life. I do not know how to say this. The young Drisio, I don't know how to pronounce it, but it is just another form, another culture's way of reaching enlightenment. Okay. Also the Kabbalah, that's the tree of life. This is the tree of life symbol. So it's all about reaching enlightenment. The kingdom is within, the temple lies from within. And it's this sense of reaching, this sense of knowing yourself. Okay, the more you get in tune with yourself, the more healing work that you're doing, the more you become aware of yourself, the more you become aware of your triggers, the more you're more mindful. It's a sense of being conscious and aware of yourself internally. That way you're able to push forward in a better way, in a better light, and continue to shine your light during this transformation, because it is a huge spiritual awakening. It's a huge spiritual initiation. It's a huge spiritual transformation that you go through when this Kundalini starts to activate. Okay. But the tree of life, it also made me think of like Christ consciousness and Jesus, Isis, Buddha, Krishna, Hermes, Thoth. All of these ancient ascendant masters were all talking about this same energy. Okay. It's the sense of reaching enlightenment, becoming one with God, becoming one with Allah, becoming one with the all, with the source, with the creator, with the universe. It's all the same energy. Okay. So you do the internal work to reach this level of enlightenment. And the more the more in tune you get with yourself, the more in tune you get with your higher self, and your higher self is connected to the creator, the all, the crown, the enlightenment. Okay. So another thing with the tree of life, it made me think of the Christmas tree. So, and we all know, Christmas tree is attributed to lighting up the tree, and getting presents and putting the star at the top. When I think of the symbology of the Christmas tree, okay, we are the tree. Okay, you go around the tree with lights. So you're lighting up each chakra. And the higher you go, it gets a little harder. You got to get that stepping stool, to really put, the lights on a tree, but it's a sense of enlightenment. Okay, you're lighting yourself. And when you get to the top, then you put the star on top. Okay, and that is that enlightenment. That is that crown. That is the Christ consciousness. That is the wisdom. That is the ascension. That is the chariot. Okay, that is that light. Okay, to be enlightened is to have light from within. Okay, and then it's the sense of, once the whole tree is lit, you get these gifts, and that's the DNA activations, that's the light codes, that's the junk DNA that turns on, that's the clairvoyant, that's the clairaudient, that's the telekinesis, the telepathy, the sense of empathy and being an empath, and just knowing things that you didn't know that you knew. But that all comes from doing the internal work and being the light from within at this time. Okay. And it's this sense of, enlightenment, going above the Merkaba, the body, the mind, the soul. And once you get those aligned, it's the sense of being one with source, being one with God, being one with the creator. And this is all a sense of ancient teachings. Also, like the genie in the lamp. Okay. One thing that popped up was, I was watching Aladdin with my children the other day. And, when the genie pops up of the lamp, first off, it's a whole process. And it dawned on me as I was watching this movie. I'm like, wow, okay, he's going into the cave of wonders. What is the cave of wonder? That's going internal, that's going down, that's going to the root, get into that root chakra. And once you start to illuminate and you sit there and you do the work, doing the internal work to transmute the body, that's him rubbing the lamp, then this genie comes out, your higher self comes out, your soul, your spirit. Is the sense of being one with your soul and your spirit. And the spirit was blue, the genie was blue. And I took that as a symbol of, your third eye, your first eye, becoming more aware, being more conscious. And it's like, okay, you've done the work, you're chosen one. The whole time, the little tiger cave was like, you got to bring me the right one. It got to be the right one. They can't be operating from the ego. They can't be operating from these lower natures. You got to bring me the diamond in the rough. You got to bring me somebody who's operating from their heart. And Aladdin was the one to go down there, because Aladdin still had this pure sense of heart, even though he was in survival mode. And I feel like that is what a lot of us are doing right now. We're all in survival mode, just trying to make it. But a lot of us are still ascending spiritually, and we still have this sense of our pure heart. And that's what it really does boil down to with this whole Kundalini activation and Kundalini rising and DNA activations. Your heart has to be cleansed and pure to ascend, to go to these higher realms. The heart is the middle section from the lower and the higher. Okay. But Aladdin really made me think of Allah within, the God within you. And that starts with acknowledging yourself. And once you acknowledge yourself, that sparks this DNA activations. And then it's this whole process of this Kundalini rising, this Kundalini awakening. Okay. So yeah, and so after you have, it's like an initiation that you do within yourself. It's a spiritual initiation. And there's multiple ways to have this Kundalini rising. You can go into a meditative state. You can just be spiritually initiated and start to feel this energy. You could be working out. You could be engaging in sexual activity. You could be doing medicinal medicine. There is multiple ways that the body starts to activate this Kundalini energy. And the Kundalini energy is really a I want to say a God-like force that dwells within all of us that can be ignited at any time. But there is, like I said, there's levels to this, and it's really not nothing to play with because it's very powerful. Okay. So, the feeling that you may have when you start to have a spiritual awakening or a Kundalini rising, DNA activations, is it can feel like waves of energy, a surge of energy. It can feel hot. You can feel cold. You can get the chills. You can be in pain. It could be the sense of bliss. It could be the sense of euphoria, the sense of an orgasmic feeling. Okay. It's a lot of different energies that can partake when the Kundalini is being activated. It's not just one thing. It's not just, you can feel like you're being electrocuted. It's all different types of different energies that the body will tend to release during this time. You could feel the sense of being high. It's, a multitude of energies that you can start to feel. And like I said, this process is different for everyone. I'm just going to be kind of going over my experience and what I felt when I had my Kundalini rise. Okay. And you guys can take what resonates. All right. But there will be tingling in the body. There may be convulsions. There may be uncontrollable body movements, a body sensation. And it's nothing really to be afraid of. It's just the way that the body cleanses and purges itself during these type of things. Okay. What else? I'm looking at my notes. I have a lot of notes because I wanted to make sure that I went over everything. But yeah, it's an energy that starts at the root chakra, and it will start to cleanse and purge and release energy in that area until it's complete. Okay, so with the root chakra, that is based off of fears, being grounded, being stable, trauma. So it could be the sense of releasing trauma, releasing your fears, to tap into feeling more stable, being more grounded. So making sure that you are grounding, and grounding mean being out in nature, tapping into like walks or listening to water, nurturing the earth, planting seeds, just really being in tune with Mother Nature. That's a sense of that root chakra being activated. Okay. So it will start at the root chakra, then it will start to cleanse and purge the area. Once it is done, then it will start to make its way up to the next chakra, and it will do this to all of the chakras until it is complete. I noticed really that the main chakras were the bottom half. I feel like that is the lower nature, that is the ego, that is the shadow self, that is that, the part that is the hardest, that's the flesh, our bodies, the denseness of it, really releasing attachment to certain things. And once you detach yourself from certain things, then you're able to rise above. Okay. But again, like I said, this is a process that's different for everyone, and it depends on how much internal work you have done and how much trauma you have healed or unhealed trauma that you have. Okay. And that goes into that sacral chakra. So making sure that you aren't knowing your self-worth. Okay. It's the sense of knowing who you are, loving yourself, using that creative energy responsibly and respectfully. So it's the sense of, drawing, writing, working out, dancing, singing, moving the body, sexual activity, and being creative, that life force energy. Okay, so that is a sacral chakra. It will start to hit that sacral chakra, and you will start to feel this erotic, aroused feeling. You may have this sense of orgasmic bliss, and just release, breathe, and embrace it. That's the main thing that helped me when I had my Kundalini rising, was just breathing through it. It was, when you try to fight this urge, it makes it harder for the energy to freely travel up, and it makes it like a violent type of thing. It kind of really reminds me of that Kali Ma energy. They say that, you know, Kali Ma segment energy is very destructive, very wild, very untamed energy. And I feel like that's what happens when you don't do your shadow work, when you don't heal yourself, when you let this energy just run wild, when you just having multiple sexual partners and you just don't really know who you are and you're not honoring yourself and you don't have any discipline, then you are just this chaotic being. You're this chaos energy. And it's a sense of centering that energy and getting in tune with yourself to be centered and let this energy rise within you. Let this God force energy rise within you. Okay. But yeah, some people say it's dangerous because if you haven't done the internal work, you can become crazy. You can become confused, not knowing how to transmute the energy properly. Okay, so like I said, the best way to transmute this energy is to ground yourself, release in healthy ways, and take accountability and allow the energy to flow through your body freely and just breathe. So inhale. Exhale. Okay, that's the best. That's literally the only thing that got me through this energy, y'all, was breathing. Okay, I was like tensing up and I could hear my spirit was like, relax and breathe. And as I relaxed and breathed, I felt the energy just continue to go up. And I'm like, wow, breath is key, spirit is key, breath is everything. Okay, we don't have breath, we don't have life. Okay, the lungs, the expansion, to allow and release. Okay, it's the in and the out. Okay. All right. Some may refer to this energy also as like the dark night of the soul. Okay, releasing that ego, or like taking accountability, checking yourself. I kind of really attribute that to the solar plexus because it's a sense of having confidence. Everybody loves confidence. Everybody has inner strength. Everybody has a sense of power. But it can also be seen as being arrogant or letting your ego, you know, run you. And that's never a good thing. You never really want to let your ego get the best of you. You want to be mindful of the ego and let the ego shine its light, but also have that balance and know when it may be time to check yourself, or just take accountability. Okay, so it's a sense of having this balance within yourself, as within, so without. Also, the solar plexus is attributed to what you're consuming. Okay, and consumption is energy around you, people, music, what you're watching, also what you're eating. They like to say that the gut is the brain, you know, that gut intuition, that gut knowing. So this sense of detoxing and being mindful, being aware, being health conscious of what you're consuming when it comes to eating, I know that will help a lot with this Kundalini activation, DNA activations. The more you eat cleaner, like fruits, vegetables, that really does help this process. I know I could not eat certain foods. It literally made me sick. And during this Kundalini activation process, I just was fasting. So that was like the best thing for me, for the energy to transmute better. Okay, but do what works for you. Listen to your body. That's the main thing. Stay hydrated at all times and do what works for you. Okay. All right. Balance and be realistic, be open-minded, and give yourself grace, give yourself love and compassion. Okay, so that is connected to the heart chakra. So if you're operating out of hate, operating out of envy, operating out of lack, that's really going to start to deplete this energy in the heart. For me, when the Kundalini was going up to that heart, it was like, soon as it hit my heart, I just felt this burst of energy. It felt like my aura expanded, my aura just shot out, this amazing light wave of energy. And soon as it hit my heart, I just felt this overwhelming sense of love. I was crying tears of joy, thinking about everything that I love, thinking of everyone that I love and how much I love them, how deeply I love them. And I'm just like, wow, like we are all one. How much I love myself. I love myself, how much hard work I've been putting in to help myself heal and elevate. And it was just this very blissful energy when it came to the heart chakra, okay? So make sure that you are operating out of love at all times, okay? Even if you're supposed to love that enemy, okay? Even if they done something wrong, you don't want to hold on to that energy, hold on to that grudge. Forgiving yourself and forgiving others. Forgiveness isn't a sense of it's something for them, it's something for you, something to make your heart lighter, because that heart will be weighed on that scales of my eye, and you want your heart to be as light as a feather. That's the way to ascend past the underworld, okay? And that was really key when it comes to this Kundalini activation, comes to this ascension process, is making sure that your heart is light. And for me, the heart, that's the hardest one, okay? We have all of these fears, all of these things, past trauma, it's a lot when it comes to the heart, and making sure that that heart is light. Also, the inner child, I feel like the inner child is connected to the heart as well. So it's a sense of going back into the past and freeing your inner child and loving your inner child, regardless of what had may went on. Like I said, you got to make sure you're doing that shadow work, doing that internal work, so that way you can ascend at this time. All right. I said a lot of emotions come up, so it's okay to release. Okay, it's okay to cry. It's okay to purge. It's okay to be angry. It's okay to be upset. It's okay to be frustrated. Feel those emotions and let those emotions run through you. Let them run through you and release, and you will have this sense of this weight lifted off of you. This weight lifted off your heart at this time. Okay. Once the heart is clear and open, the DNA activations will start. So it's a sense of you activating the higher heart. The higher heart is right here, the thymus. Okay, so it goes from the heart chakra to the higher heart chakra, and that is the bridge way to the higher dimension, the higher realms, these higher levels of ascension. And you will be activated, then it will move up to the throat chakra. So it's a sense of once it hits the higher heart, then it's like you go up to the throat chakra. This is probably the most interesting chakra that was activated for me, because as I could feel the energy going up, and it literally felt like a rock was in my throat. It felt like a hard pill to swallow, because for the longest I had a lot of throat chakra blockages. That's why I be talking so much in my videos, because my heart chakra and my throat chakra are fully activated. So but it took a lot of healing. It took a lot of transmuting a lot of energy for me to be able to speak so freely, especially being on this spiritual path, on this path of ascension, on this righteous path, whatever you want to call it, okay? Doing the work that we do to enlighten ourselves and enlighten others. It's a lot to speak freely, especially when you're in the beginnings of the initiation, because there's a lot of naysayers and outside energy. But this is that throat chakra is a sense of speaking your truth, okay? Speaking your truth, wherever your truth may look like. And it's a sense of communication, and you being able to hear your spirit, being able to hear your intuition, being able to hear the all, being able to hear your spirit guides, being able to hear your higher self, okay? Because communication isn't always just about talking. It's about listening. Sometimes communication is about being quiet. Sometimes it's about being in silence and going within, okay? So with the throat chakra being activated, I just heard a lot of ear popping, a lot of pressure in my ears. It was like this whooshing, waving energy, and I could just feel a lot of pressure and a lot of ear popping. It's kind of like when you're going up in the hills or the mountains, and you could feel your ears popping and elevating, ears ringing, high-pitched sounds. And also a lot of yawning. I was yawning like crazy, and it was deep, like huge yawns. It wasn't like, oh, I know they were like, oh, and I'm like, oh my goodness. And I did that for about like 20 minutes, just the inhaling, the oxygen going up to the brain, so that way this energy could start to travel up to these higher chakras at this time, okay? Then once that process was complete, once the activation of the throat chakra was complete, then it rose up to my first eye. Some people like to call it the third eye. I like to call it the first eye, because it is the first thing to develop within the body, when the spinal cord, when that little semen, that little sperm it has this little head and this tail, and that little head turns into our brains and the little tail turns into the spinal cord. So that actually is our first eye, the first thing to develop. Then the heart develops at 4 weeks. Then the rest of the organs and the rest of the body, then the skin, then the pigment, then the hair. It's a lot of levels, right? So, but that six, the sixth chakra is the first eye chakra or the third eye chakra, and that is attributed to your intuition, your visions being clear, you seeing certain things, seeing people's aura, seeing energy, feeling energy, being able to use discernment, gifts being activated, okay, having this sense of inner knowing, okay, this sense of inner standing. And it's like when I think of the clairvoyant, okay, those type of gifts starting to come online, okay, this sense of being aware and looking at things differently, looking at things from a different perspective, and looking at it from a 360 all around view instead of a one-dimensional type of view, and having a great overstanding for things as well. Okay, so yeah, just don't be afraid, y'all. I know it sounds a little crazy, but it was a beautiful activation for me. I started to see things, and at that point where my first eye, my third eye was being activated, I started to see a Merkaba. And as soon as I seen the Merkaba activate, it turned gold. And I felt my spirit become one with the Merkaba. And then I went up one more level, and that was the crown chakra activation, the crown, igniting the crown. And it was a sense of the inner knowing, the God, the consciousness, the oneness, and connecting to all, the gateway to the divine. And that was probably the most intense feeling of them all, due to how, because they say, okay, the Kundalini feels like a serpent going up your spinal cord, going up. And once it hit the back of my head and it went to my crown, I felt like this. It felt like a snake or something was all in my brain or my mind. You could literally feel your whole brain activate. So it's a sense of hemi-syncing the brain, the left brain, the light brain, the right brain, the logic with the creativity, the masculine and the feminine. And you can feel both of those becoming one, okay? And then you could feel it enlightened. So literally felt like my crown was on fire, the crown of thorns, that Christ consciousness, in the back of my head was on fire. It was like stiff. It was tingling. It felt like a little spider or something crawling up. And then certain parts of my brain or my head was just like, it felt like somebody was holding a heater or holding a blow dryer in one spot. And then it was just a whole full crown activation. So like I said again, some people may have different Ascension symptoms. Let me know down in the comments what you guys may be feeling at this time, Ascension symptoms that you may be feeling. But for me, it was like my neck, my head, my brain just felt enlightened, okay? You may feel pain or discomfort or fires or tingling. It may feel like a snake is in your brain, okay? But once it's all done, you start to feel one with yourself. You start to feel like a giant spirit, one with the earth, one with all love, compassion, and bliss, okay? So that was pretty much like my Kundalini experience and how I felt and what the chakras feel like when they're being activated and purged, and the sense of DNA activations and ascension. And then, okay, because that was 2 years ago for me. So that experience happened 2 years ago. It's a sense of your light body being activated, the rainbow body, the diamond body, the 12 strand DNA being activated. And I post that picture all the time on my Instagram, where my whole aura was a rainbow. And it was just a very beautiful experience. But after, okay, because it's a whole, once I felt the energy start to, and mind you, the energy didn't calm down for about a month. It was like 2 weeks of just my brain feeling like it's on fire, my neck on fire. And I was having a lot of vivid dreams at the time, seeing a lot of vivid dreams, kept waking up throughout the night, couldn't really sleep. So it is a sense of just being ready, embracing yourself. Like I said, grounding. That was the main thing that I really wanted to do once this energy started to dwindle down, was get outside in nature, ground myself, listen to the ocean, listen to the waves, eat healthier. So it's a sense of this whole lifestyle change. Your whole life will drastically change in a huge way, completely change once you have this DNA activation. And again, like I said, it's levels for everybody. So if you're feeling Kundalini symptoms, Ascension symptoms, and they're coming in mildly, you may be doing different steps at different times, okay? And I feel like that's probably the best way, because to have all of this happen at once, it's like very drastic, it's very intense, okay? This is a very intense process, and it should not be taken lightly, okay? But for me, my lifestyle changed drastically. I felt myself just wanting to vibrate higher. I didn't want to watch the same things. I couldn't watch the same things. I couldn't be around the same people. I couldn't talk about the same things anymore. It just was not, it wasn't resonating. It wasn't agreeing with my spirit. I just felt like my energy was being drained and sucked, and I was like, I can't even do it. My spirit won't allow me, my heart won't allow me to engage in lower vibrational things anymore, okay? So be mindful of this, because I feel like this is something a lot of people don't talk about. They like to talk about, oh yes, this energy and you feel so good and this and that, and you go on the YouTube videos and you see people having orgasms and bodies convulsion, and but what they don't say is how your lifestyle changes completely after this. Your friends change completely. People don't see the same views as you. People may be like, oh, the main thing for me was like, oh, here she go talking all this conscious stuff again. Oh, here she go. But like I said, this was 2 years ago. Those same people now come to me like, oh, hey, Diamond, you were already on it. We appreciate you. We see the work that you put in. We love the light that you're sharing. And it's just a sense of enlightenment. It's a sense of you vibrating higher, and we see you, and it's a sense of just living right from your heart, okay? Not doing that out of ego. I wasn't doing that for people to come back and say, oh, you were right. I was just doing it out of the kindness of my heart and what my spirit was telling me to do. So always listen to your spirit, always follow your heart, and go with the flow. But for me, it was drastic changes in my life, okay? I felt super sensitive around certain people, their energy. I couldn't be around their energy. I could start to feel people's shadows. I could start to see people's shadows. I could see the entity. I could see the energy on them. It was a lot, okay? Your eating habits will change. Your energy will change. You'll be more sensitive to energy from people that you hang around, to energy outside of you, okay? You may be able to predict certain things, just having this inner knowing, and you just want to eat more high vibrational food, be around more high vibrational things, just really want to vibe high, operate out of love and light, okay? Have a bigger sense of self-worth, a bigger sense of self-love, and wanted to be around people on the same vibration. You may want to be alone. There was this period where I just wanted to be alone. I didn't want to be bothered. I didn't want to talk to nobody. And I kind of went into like this cocoon phase. And I was in that cocoon phase for maybe about a year and a half, where I just was studying, learning things, learning how the body works, learning about foods, learning about health, learning about spiritual things, learning about law, learning about anything, from astrology to crystals to health to anatomy to metaphysics to numerology. So it's a sense of going within to know who you are and get this better sense of self. Okay. Increase of wanting to learn more, learning science, spiritual things, mystic things, okay? History, okay? Wanting to be in nature more. That was another thing. It's like I have to get outside and ground. I have to go outside and listen to the water. I have to be, hug a tree. Like I have to just be in nature. This gratitude for Mother Earth and the resources that the earth provides for us. The sun provides for us. The wind provides for us. Everything that we need is already provided for us. And a sense of having gratitude and being thankful. And wanting to love more, wanting to do more, okay? Helping people and helping teach people that want to learn. So this sense of me wanting to share my light with others. And that gave me this sense of just fulfillment. And it wasn't like from an ego thing. It was this, hey, how is everybody feeling today? Shout out to Soul Tribe. Like, hey, how y'all feeling today? Because I would be feeling a certain type of way. And I'm like, I wonder if they're feeling the same. And they're like, man, my energy been wild today. Of the back of my head tingling, sis. What is going on? And I'm like, okay, they feeling it too. Then I'm like, okay, y'all might be having Kundalini symptoms. We might be going through Ascension right now. So ground yourself, drink water, stay hydrated, and prepare for these internal and external changes at this time, okay? So having a sense of collective consciousness, okay? Omniverse, omnipresence, omni consciousness, one mind in the universe, right? There will be high highs, there will be low lows, but making sure that you stay balanced and you stay open to this energy, and keep operating out of love, being the alchemist, using your alchemy tools. So if you're feeling this type of low vibrational energy, transmute it, dance a little, draw a little, write a little, create a little, do whatever is going to help you transmute that energy, whether it be working out, going for a walk, do whatever works best for you. That's one thing I like to say. Tap into your inner child to do what makes your heart happy. And that's going to be the best way to transmute this energy, okay? And then just continue to be one with yourself, one with your higher self, one with God, one with Allah, one with the all, one with Source, one with the Creator. And I feel like that's what all of this is just to get attuned with yourself, because we are God, we are the goddess, we are one. Okay, it's the sense of the all wanted to have this experience, and we are the experience. So we are connected. We are made it in this godlike image. So we are it. Okay. Not saying that we are the creator. We, being mindful of that ego, but knowing I have this sense of creation as well. I can create another life. I can create, if I plant a seed and nurture it, something will grow. So using your tools wisely, internal and external. And I believe that we continue to ascend to higher realms. Okay. Another thing was, like I said, there was a huge solar flare that went off today, 9X, X9, and we're still embracing this X7 solar flare. So that's another sense of light codes pouring in. And with light codes come gifts like telepathy, telekinesis, psionics. Psionics is the sense of controlling time, controlling matter, controlling minds, okay? Controlling universal time. A lot of you may be having a sense of deja vu. That's a sense of these timelines collapsing, you moving forward, quantum leaping, quantum jumping, okay? This sense of, like I said, the clairaudience, that's the clear hearing, clairsentient, clear feeling, clairvoyance, a clear vision, a clear knowing. All of the clairs, it's a sense for, all of your senses being enhanced. So the sense of smell as well. You may be able to smell energy, smell people, smell things. And it's like, be aware of that. Your taste buds may increase as well. So, craving for certain things, craving for certain fruits, their taste bud may change or enhance. Just all of these different senses will be enhanced at this time, okay? And another thing was protect your energy, okay? So make sure that you got your crystals. I always keep my crystals, newdiamonds.net, okay, for crystals. And making sure that you're grounding, okay? Making sure that you're meditating, making sure that you are doing those cleansing baths, those cleansing rituals, and doing what you have to do to protect your energy physically, spiritually, emotionally, on all ways and all levels and all realms. Okay. And then also, you know, if you use sigils, signs, whatever you want, you know, emblems, whatever type of things that you want to do to protect yourself, I say do it, because ain't nothing wrong with a little extra protection at this time. Okay. And then the main thing was continue to operate out of love, continue to vibrate high. That is the key to all of this beautiful ascension energy that we may be feeling and maybe pouring in. So do whatever makes your heart happy, whether that be, you know, love, divine union, divine bliss, divine intervention, dancing, working out, getting out in nature. I just literally went to the park and just sat there and had a picnic and just grounded under a tree. One of the best feelings ever. Just do whatever makes you happy at this time, okay? Draw, you know, art, create, you know, follow your heart, follow your spirit, and continue to vibrate high. Okay, so that is my Kundalini rising, Kundalini activations, DNA upgrades, ascension, okay, video. And yeah, you guys continue to just vibrate high and let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. I'm actually going to do my singing bowl. So sound is another good way to keep your vibes high and doing what works best for you at this time. So I'm going to hit this and then we're going to end the video. All right. All right, you guys. So that is my video. I hope this was helpful. Let me know down in the comments what you guys think down below, and share some of your experiences. What type of activation or symptoms are you having? How you may be feeling at this time. Like I said, a lot of people may be having insomnia. They may be dealing with pain. They may be feeling energetic, or they may be feeling tired. Everybody's ascension symptoms hits different, and we are all going through this together. So yeah, until next time, guys.